Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that people have been flocking to Texas in recent years. Journalists are calling this phenomenon the Texas migration, and with 3,800 more people moving to Texas than leaving it every week, it's pretty clear why. But people aren't just moving there, they're staying. In fact, Texas has the highest retention rate out of any other state in the U.S. 82% of those born in Texas choose to stay, a number far higher than elsewhere. So why is this? Well, there are many things people like about Texas, but one major draw is the affordable cost of living. That's right, Texas is one of the cheapest places to live in the U.S., and today on Across the Globe, I'm going to show you the 10 cheapest places to live in Texas. Number 10. Odessa. With a cost of living index of 84.2, Odessa might have the highest cost of living on our list, but that in no way means that it's expensive to live here. After all, the cost of living in Texas overall is 10% higher at about 94, and the cost of living nationwide is ranked at 100. Transportation and cost of housing are particularly low here, with transportation receiving a score of 83.3 compared to the Lone Star State's 103.3, and housing a score of 60.1 compared to Texas's overall score of 83.5. If you're looking to buy a house, the average home value in Odessa is only about $187,000. Plus, like the other places on this list, an affordable cost of living doesn't mean that you have to give up your favorite activities. With a population of about 118,000 and its reputation as being a quintessential Texas town, that means Odessa is friendly and has plenty of outdoor activities to enjoy year-round. Number 9. Corpus Christi. If you look at lists of cheapest towns to live in Texas, you'll notice one thing many of them have in common. They contain the town of Corpus Christi. And there's a good reason for that. The cost of living index here is only 83.7, with a median home value of about $203,000. The average rent, meanwhile, is only about $1,142 per month. With an affordable cost of living, you definitely get your money's worth here. That's especially the case given that Corpus Christi gives you access to waterfront living, something that usually raises the cost of living pretty significantly. That means miles of beachfront access and beachfront homes, not to mention some pretty beautiful scenery. However, I will note that utilities here do rate pretty high, with some estimates pricing them as the most expensive in the entire state. Number 8. El Paso. You get a lot of bang for your buck in El Paso. For instance, El Paso has tons of natural beauty with mountains and desert landscapes. El Paso also has a great music scene and is famous for its Tex-Mex cuisine. So that's the bang part. But what about the buck? Well, El Paso is, lucky for you, pretty affordable. According to Best Places, its cost of living score is an 82, much lower than Texas's 94.2 and the national average of 100. When it comes to housing, you'll also luck out here. The median home value in El Paso is less than $200,000 at only $197,000 as of March 2023. Number 7. Lubbock. We've covered Lubbock before on the cheapest places to live in America, so it should be no surprise that this town is on this list too. In fact, we found that Lubbock was one of the places in the U.S. where you can live or retire on only $1,500 a month. That's because the cost of living in Lubbock, which, as a fun fact, is home to rock and roll legend Buddy Holly, is only 80.7. Although it's lower than both the Texas and national averages when it comes to cost of housing, groceries, utilities, and transportation, I should note that it is significantly more expensive when it comes to healthcare. The median price of a home here is a little over $200,000 at $202,076 as of March 2023. Number 6. Abilene. Founded in 1881 by the Texas and Pacific Railway Company, Abilene used to be the quintessential Wild West, with cowboys, gunfights, and saloon brawls just a part of your day-to-day existence. Now, however, Abilene has tamed significantly and is considered a pretty family-friendly town. History aside, let's look at the cost of living. According to Best Places, the cost of living index in Abilene is 79.3. While the cost of healthcare and utilities are higher than the national average, housing, groceries, and transportation are significantly lower. For instance, the median home value in Abilene is only about $176,000, one of the lowest on our list. Number 5. Waco. Don't let its dark history cloud your view of this town. Although Waco was the site of the infamous Waco siege, in which the government raided a cult leader's compound back in 1993, people here are overall known for being friendly and great neighbors. And with its location about 90 miles north of Austin, this is another great town if you're looking for an affordable cost of living. Let's look at just how much it costs to live here. For starters, the cost of living index is 78.9, with transportation and housing being particularly affordable. If you're looking to buy a home, the average home value is only about $210,000, and according to Rent Cafe, the average rent on an 871 square foot apartment is about $1,279 per month. Number 4. McAllen. This Texas town's cost of living is only 78.8, significantly lower than the national average I mentioned of 100. One of the main reasons McAllen is so affordable is because of its low cost of housing. According to Zillow, the median home price in McAllen is only about $205,000, and for the renters among you, monthly rent for a one-bedroom is a little less than $800 in the city center or about $760 outside. Furthermore, according to Home City, the estimated wage in McAllen is only about $17 per hour. Number 3. Amarillo. Named after the Spanish word for yellow because of its yellow clay soil, Amarillo was originally established by a group of ranchers in the late 1800s. Now it's grown to a sprawling big town, or small city depending on how you cut it, of a little over 200,000. While it's not as affordable as it was when ranchers founded it back in the late 1800s, it's also not as expensive as the cost of living elsewhere in the US in the 21st century. For instance, the cost of living index here is only 77.8. Like many of the other cities on this list, housing is also relatively affordable. In Amarillo, the median home value is less than $200,000 at $190,000. Other cost of living metrics are also low. For instance, groceries and transportation rank considerably lower than the values across the state and the country. Health costs, however, are slightly higher than the state and national levels. Number 2. Wichita Falls. If you're looking for a respite from city life, Wichita Falls might be your place. Like the name implies, Wichita Falls has a 54-foot man-made waterfall that the town is known for. And with a population of about 100,000 in the entire metropolis, Wichita Falls has a great small-town feel to it. There are plenty of outdoor offerings in scenic Wichita Falls. For starters, there's the 12-mile Wichita mountain bike trail. There are plenty of golf courses, and there's even a water park if you're feeling adventurous. But of course, you're here for the numbers. So before I get too far in the weeds with regards to Wichita Falls recreational activities, let's look at some stats. For starters, the cost of living index is only 75.7. The biggest thing to note here is that the housing cost index is only 42.3. That's way below Texas's overall housing cost index of 83.5 and the national average of 100. And according to Zillow, the home value in Wichita Falls is only about $153,000. Number 1. Brownsville. Brownsville is one of the most, if not the most, affordable places to live in Texas. I'm not exaggerating. The cost of living index here is only 73.4, nearly 30% lower than the national average. Cost of transportation, groceries, and utilities, for instance, are all below levels elsewhere in the country. Plus, if you're looking to buy, you'll be happy to know that housing is reflected within that low cost of living index. The home value in Brownsville, according to Zillow, is only about $152,000. And even though that's about a 12% increase from the year before, it's still less than half of what the national value of a home is. Brownsville is located on the scenic Gulf of Mexico. This means that living here, you can enjoy outdoor activities like fishing, bird watching, or even going to the beach year-round. What about why everyone's moving to Texas? Watch this video to learn about that.